Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to create this custom-made, custom-shade nail polish. If you're interested to see how I created this look and what I used, then stick around. To start off, I have a bottle of e.l.f. clear polish, which is getting a little bit old and is only about half full, which is fine because that leaves me room in the top of the bottle to add the pigment. This is e.l.f. Glamorous, which is an eyeshadow pigment. And additionally, I have toothpicks to stir, and I've made a paper funnel out of some scrap paper with a hole in it that's big enough to go into the bottle of the nail polish, but still allow pigment to come through. So I'm going to start by removing the cap. And as you can see, that's got a lot of great shimmer and great color. All I'm going to do is tap some of that. And basically I just emptied what was in the cap. And now I'm just working that down into my polish. Ooh. Also, I'll just get it all over, that'll be cool. It looks like it may be a little plugged up there, so I'm going to use my toothpick to open a hole. Well, I thought I was being so clever when I made that hole, and I obviously did not get it big enough. Although, if I just keep working it. Hey guys, look at me. I can do anything. I don't need to test this. I can just do it on camera first shot. Aha. Okay. Totally easy, right? Okay, so as you can see, it kind of goes in at the top. So I'm just going to use my toothpick to sort of mix that in. You can see that that is getting a lovely color. Alright, so I'm going to put the lid back on. And now I'm going to just give that a shake for Jesus. Alright, so now I want to test the opacity of this. Okay, so you can't really work it too much the first coat, but I'm going to let that dry for about 3 minutes, which is usually all it takes for e.l.f. polishes anyway. I'm going to let that dry and then come back with the second coat and we can see what the color is going to be. Okay, so I've let that dry for a couple minutes. Now I'm going to come back in with the second coat. And that is just about as pretty as it gets. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other nails. That first coat doesn't look to be as streaky if you don't overwork it. And it may be that letting it settle a little bit in the bottom may have helped a little bit as well. No, that one's pretty streaky. But that's all right. Everybody's going to get another shower in a few minutes. Okay. So I'm going to let those dry, and then we'll come back and do the second coat, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the accent nail. Okay, so everybody has got a second coat of my custom-made glamorous e.l.f. nail polish. Absolutely beautiful shade, and 2 coats opacity. Looks great. So now what I'm going to do is create an accent nail using an unsullied bottle of e.l.f. clear and the remainder of the pigment shadow. So basically this is expired. I can't use this on my eyes anymore, but I can definitely continue using it for nail art. And so to start, I'm going to put 1 coat of clear polish. And while that's still wet, I'm taking an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush that is no longer being used on my eyes. I only use this for nail art. I'm going to dip in and get a little bit of my pigment, and I'm just going to dab that into the wet polish on the tip of my nail. And I have to work fast because that polish is definitely starting to set up, but I have a little bit of time while it's still tacky. Okay. And now, with my clear polish again, just going to cover that out, and I've got a lovely gradient nail. Now what I want to make sure that I do is to take any of that pigment off of the end of my clear polish brush. I'm just going to swipe that on my paper towel to make sure that any of the pigment in there doesn't go back into my bottle and contaminate my bottle of clear polish. But with that done, and actually, so now I've got another coat of clear on there, I can see a few spots that I want to continue filling in. But essentially I've made a gradient and anytime I add new polish to make sure that it matches, because that dry polish definitely has a different tone to what's been put into the wet clear polish. Again, making sure I don't contaminate anything. And there we have a gradient nail created with just the pigment. Now to clean this up, because you'll see I've got a little bit of stray pigment. This is just a regular makeup wipe. You can pick it up at any drugstore, even in the shopping, the grocery store. I'm just going to wipe around the edges of my nail to clean up any of that stray pigment. And of course that'll also come off when you wash your hands as well. But that's a good tip when you're working with pigment. You can always use a makeup wipe to clean up anything that goes stray, whether that be on your hands or on your work table, anywhere you go. Alright, so I'm going to let that dry and then I will meet you back. Alright, so here you can see the final look. I have set that with 3 flat back rhinestones. You can find those in any craft store. Just look for flat backs. They come in a variety of colors and sizes. But I set those into wet top coat. Little hint for application, I use a toothpick dipped in clear polish just to make it tacky to pick those up and then set them on the nail. Everything's topped off in another coat of clear polish just to make sure everything is set in, and I am ready to go. If you have any questions or comments, or want to see anything else, any other looks using similar tools to this, please do leave me a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. If you like, you can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, Instagram. I use the same name everywhere. You can also catch up with all of my nail art doings on my blog. All of my links will be down in the down bar below. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Bye! This is e.l.f. Oops.